Coach, I saw your wide receivers getting pretty physical out there. Your running backs getting tested. What did you see out there in the Paul drill? I asked the players earlier, what is it with a drill like that starting off practice that's the biggest advantage?
Well, one, you got to be in the game of football. You got to be ready when the ball and from the opening snap, and so that's just a mentality deal. That right out the gate, you got to be ready, and it's a drill that exposes those who didn't come out the locker room with the right mentality. They're gonna get exposed in that drill, and it's one on one at all levels. It's a one on one matchup at three different levels, from the wideouts to the tight ends, all the way back to the offensive line, and the running backs. They got to run, and they're running in tight spaces, and so it's a good competitive drill to set the tempo for practice.
Coach, I know you had a lot of explosive plays in the scrimmage. After watching the film, what were some of the things that stood out to you?
From the scrimmage last week was just the ability to be explosive. Some guys made some competitive plays, on the ball down the field. We were able to find some runs. Travis, like I said, Travis showed up, and he was very explosive. Things weren't quite as blocked as well as we would like him, but he just made guys miss, broke some tackles, and just the guys having confidence to go out against our defense and not back down, knowing that they're going to be challenged at every level and just being able to find big plays. That's been a point of emphasis for us, so that was a good thing to see.
Has anyone stood out this spring, taking the next step, like pass blocking?
For the backs? I think Choice is a guy and he should, because he's the oldest guy, has the most knowledge, but you see him trying to be more physical. Travis, I'm really seeing a concerted effort to use the technique that we're trying to use. Travis is a contact kid, he's a physical kid, but he's still 195 pounds. And he has a tendency to drop his shoulder. And I think now he's buying into the fact that if I use proper technique, now I can get my whole body involved as opposed to just my shoulder. And again, I've seen Taven too as well, just a better mentality of attacking the line of scrimmage. Now he has to do a better job of bringing his hands. A lot of times he just relies on his 225 pounds to be able to hold up. And so if he continues to improve in terms of bringing his hands, then he has a chance to be really good in pass protection.
Like Travis had a good rep today when we saw out there. Have you seen him kind of? I mean, I know you talked about it a little bit, but as far as was that good to see? Have you seen that throughout the spring?
The last two scrimmages, you're starting to see that explosiveness that we all come to love with Travis. The biggest thing with Travis is just consistency every single play. There were a couple of instances today where he did a couple of things that were uncharacteristic, that I got to get him away from doing. Just making sure that he's locked in on every single play to know exactly what his assignment is. Really just playing without the ball, but he popped a big run, I think, in a short yardage situation for a touchdown today. Just doing the things that Travis does with the ball. Now I have to get him to the point to where he can be trusted and reliable without the ball in every situation.
Just the few minutes we got to watch today, Adam looked probably as comfortable as he has since the injury. What's been the key for him this season?
I think it's back to the job's open. When you come into spring, nobody has a right to be in that lead spot. Everybody's going to compete to earn it, and he's going to make his claim to be the guy. And his body feels good. I think he's coming out of winter in the best physical condition that he's been in. He's really, really comfortable with the additional weight that he's put on. He's moving it really, really well. He knows that he's the elder statesman in the room, so I have high expectations from his leadership. And he's just really embracing it. And he decided to come back. Although both him and CJ had a decision after the season, knowing the competition in the room, and he chose to come back, and he's taking full advantage of this opportunity.
How much do you think Travis putting on some muscle, strength and conditioning going into next year can give him an advantage as opposed to playing as a true freshman?
Oh, no question. He's just going to have more confidence. He's going to have more confidence in his ability to drop his pads. If you watch Travis, a lot of the tackles that he breaks is because of explosion and how fast he is. And when he's able to put some more mass with it, and he gets that mass moving fast and confident in his upper body strength to drop his shoulders, on people, and then when he steps in there in pass protection, being able to use his hands, I think that's just going to complete his game. I think we all know how special he is with the football. When he adds the strength component to it, it's going to complete his game and make him even more of a threat.
Coach, Jordan Leggett was such a big part of the offense when he was here, but first year without him last year, the production out of your tight ends dropped a little bit. Was that game plan and personnel based, or would you like to see more out of that position group?
Definitely like to challenge that position group. We're at our best when those tight ends can stretch the field, and again, a lot of it was the emergence of some of the wideouts in the backs. We were playing more backs and having some explosive plays there, and then situationally. We probably didn't put them in the best situation, all the time in the game plan. And again, a lot of it is what is the defense going to take away. And again, one of the things is just challenge those guys is to make sure I think we're better at the point of attack maybe than we were with Leggett, just because of Garrett coming back into the fold and Cannon's size and Milan. Now we just got to get back to that vertical stretch. And that's something that this offseason we're going to look at ways to make sure that we can get those guys back involved. And so some of that production just transitioned to some of the other positions, and we're trying to balance it back out.
Tony,
go ahead.
I was going to say you probably get this question whenever anybody sees you, but how's the quarterback competition going? How's Trevor being out there, and how's Kelly handling it?
It's competition. I mean, there's competition every single day at that quarterback spot, and it's making all of them better. And as I said after the last scrimmage, it's made Kelly better. Made Kelly a better leader because now he's in the role that Deshaun was in when Deshaun was here with him, that he's got a young, talented guy behind him. And so, he's elevating his play, but then at the same time, he's helping, Trevor, he's helping Chase, he's helping Hunter. To get those guys to the level of comfort that he has. And again, he's played 12 games, 14 games. So he's been a starter. He's been in all the situations. He knows what to expect. And so you're just seeing that he has a different level of confidence. And then obviously Trevor, like I said after the last scrimmage, he just continues to impress me just with his calm, collected demeanor, in the pocket. He just has that presence. And then Chase, man, Chase is a bulldog in there. He's going to go after it. He's going to attempt to make the throws that he believes he can make, and he's only going to get better as a result of that. And then Hunter, Hunter went down early I think it was the second half scrimmage with the hamstring. He's still coming back into it, so he didn't get as many reps. And he was in there, did some good things today. He extended some plays with his legs, which was good to see. So I'm excited to get on the film because, we came out the gate and we put together some drives, and all of them led drives, down the field. We didn't finish on one, which will be a great opportunity to challenge the guys when we got down on the goal line. But we were able to put together some long drives.
How much every year seems like you add a little bit more passing with the running backs? Is that the trend going to be this year?
We want to get those guys involved and just make them defend, all 11, well, actually not 11, but however many eligibles we got, 5 eligibles we got on the field, but then also use their talents. And, Taven is a guy that once you get the ball in his hands in space, he can make things happen. Choices really start to become more comfortable in that situation. And then Travis is the same way if you can get Travis in space. And so I think, when you had Gallman, that wasn't his strength. He was a check down guy, get him the ball if all else was covered. But now I think we got some guys that can actually, put some pressure on people in some one-on-one matchups. And hopefully we'll be able to evolve and get those guys more involved in the passing game.
Has it kind of had to be a process with Travis to where it took a little time for him to understand that no matter how good you are with the ball, you can't do pass protection and those other things, or has that kind of been something that he's understood since all along?
I think he's understanding it, and I think it's a shock for any of these guys that are highly talented, highly recruited, and they come in and they have success. But they also had some veteran guys, that were able to take some of the load off of them. But now they're considered guys with experience, and now they got to function in all situations. And so it's not just when I have the football. And so much that we do in this offense relies on the running back in pass protection, in route running, and different things that we do. That our job is critical, not just when we have the ball, and that's where those guys got to grow to make sure they can function. Because it's very, very hard to play fast with tempo and some guys out and be situational backs.
Going back to the tight ends, I believe Coach Sweeney said Braden Galloway is a guy that you guys saw making an impact and could see making an impact in the passing game. How's he coming along as he tries to recover from that foot injury?
He's progressing, and you're seeing him. He looks good. He's running around. They're starting to work him back into practice and, get him some individual work throughout the course of practice just to kind of get him some confidence on that foot. But, he's a guy that looks the part. He's big, athletic. Reminds you a lot of Leggett just with his physical build and his ability to run. And again, he's still got a lot of maturing because the tight end position outside of the quarterback requires the most amount of knowledge to be able to function because those guys do so many different things for us and formation adjustments. They're the boundary receiver. They're the two-back running back in the backfield in terms of blocking. So there's a lot of stuff that he's going to have to learn to be able to function.
Going into the spring, you talk a lot about tempo. Where are you at as far as where you want to be with that, and how much of a difference do you think that can make this year?
I think that it's part of the reason why we've been able to have some success versus our defense is because we're playing fast and we're not giving those guys an opportunity to get their cleats screwed in the ground, to check their keys and their indicators to anticipate what's coming. So if you can play fast, then obviously you neutralize some of the knowledge and the experience that the guys on defense has, and then now you can kind of dictate the different things. You can put them in and try to get them into some base situations that give you success with your play calls.
Circling around back to the stretch of the field,
Mm-hmm.
who you got right now that's replacing Deion Kane in that 9-man spot? Who's stepping up into that role right now?
You know, I feel like Travion Thompson's had a good spring. You know, he's made some plays down the field. DeAndre Overton is another guy that we're challenging into the boundary to stretch the field. Obviously, T probably has the most upside in terms of really, really stretching the field. And then the positive that I feel is out there to the field, you have Amari Rodgers, who plays bigger than what he really is, so he can stretch it back like when Sammy. You know, when we were really, really explosive is when you had Sammy and Nuke, and you could stretch the field on both sides. And then now you got DK and Cornell made some big plays down the field. You know, that gives us confidence. And so really the ability to stretch the field on both sides is really where we need to be.
Coach, has it been a humbling experience, you think, for Jackson Carman being the little fish, so to speak? How's he responded to that?
You know, I think so. You know, I think for all these guys when they come in, you know, to our program, one, just from the philosophy and the mentality and the core values of our program, that they're going to get challenged by the coaches. That it's not recruiting. This is what we do. This is who we are. That everybody's going to earn their stripes. And then you get out here and you got to go block Cleveland, and you get matched up on Christian every once in a while when you go in there at guard. And you know, Dexter, you know, has been a guy that they really haven't seen yet this spring. So I think just the competition level that he sees every single day, and then also how the guys in front of him have helped him, but at the same time they're competing with him too. So he's getting competition at his own position, and he's getting competition across the ball.
Blake Benson looked really good in his college drill session today. How's Blake developing?
You know, I'm really pleased with where he is and how he's developed, and gives us a lot of confidence, you know, backing up that left tackle spot. He looks good. You can tell that his confidence is back in his strength. You know, he was a guy that had some shoulder issues coming out of high school, and now I think he feels very, very confident with where he is from a strength standpoint. Still has some big gains to make, but I think he's got the confidence to go out and compete, and so he moves his feet well. Very, very intelligent young man. You can tell that he's got a football mind, and so very encouraged with where he is right now.
The screen game has a lot of moving parts, so maybe it didn't work as well as you'd like to last season. Have you been able to pinpoint what went wrong, and then how have you seen improvement?
You know, we've actually talked to some people, you know, visited with some other staffs. Just everybody's trying to improve their screen game, especially their running back screens. And you know, we've tried a couple different things, just trying to find, you know, what is the best way to to block it, what is the best technique and timing with the running back. So we're experimenting with those. We've actually had some success with the running back screens. You know, this spring is very, very hard versus Brent to get any of your wide receiver perimeter screens. He's not going to give you those, so we don't get quite as much work on those. A lot of it was on me in situations. Making sure that I was putting the players in the right position in the right situations. And like I said before, I got a little bit predictable, and then you're seeing a lot more of the variations of fronts. You're seeing a lot more of the twisting, you know, on base downs. And whenever you twist, I mean, you're playing right into the defense's hand, because already those D linemen are reading their keys and they're reading out of it, and they're beating your offensive lineman to the point of attack. So it's just a combination of things. But with the running back perspective screens that we've worked on this so far, been pleased with how my guys have really gotten a feel for it. And then we just got to continue to explore stuff this offseason to see what's out there, how can we get ahead of the curve to kind of get that element of our game back.